I'm Jess, and today I'm going to bring you my June book haul. It's a bit late because this is like the 11th of June. I have acquired quite a lot of books, but I didn't buy them all, so I'm okay with it. So the first book I acquired was Paranormacy by Kiersten White. I did not buy this. I traded in a few of my books to a second-hand bookstore and got like store credit. So I got a few books from it. You'll see them later as well. So yeah, I got this. I don't know much about it, but I'd like heard of the author, I'd heard of the book, and I needed to buy something because I had store credit. So I thought, well, why not give it a go? I don't know if I'm actually going to read it. It's a paranormal fantasy book, I think. But I know Katie Tastic loves Kiersten White, so I think I'm going to check this out. The next book I got from that was Soulless by Gail Carriger. I've just heard amazing things, and when I picked this, the woman who owns the store said she loves this series, and so that made me really like, well, if people tell me they love it, I might as well try it. So yeah, this is the first book in the Paracel series. I don't know. A novel of vampires, werewolves, and parasols. Sounds a bit weird, but okay. Let's try it. The next book is The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. The last book in this series, the Blood of Eden series, came out last month. So I thought it's time to get on this mountain dragon. But this cover is really ugly. Really ugly. But the cover to the hardcover edition of the last one is really pretty, and I really want those hardcovers. Although none of them match. I don't understand this series matching wise. None of the covers ever match. So yeah, this is The Immortal Rules. It's about vampires. Yeah. Next book I got was Eve by Anna Carey. I got this book off Amazon. It's supposed to be used very good condition. As you can see, it is not in great condition. It is in poor condition in my eyes, but my thing of poor condition might be a bit distorted apparently. So yeah, I've wanted this book for a while. I don't really know what it's about. I think, don't quote me on this, don't like act like this is definitely the premise. Go look on Goodreads. I think it's about a girl who like goes to school with all girls, and then she realizes that the school is like making the girls get pregnant when they graduate or something. That might be totally off base. I might be thinking of a different book, but I think so. I've heard good things about this book, so I thought I'll buy it, see what I think, and then I might buy the next book. So yeah, I will read that. The next book is Monument 14. I've heard amazing things about this book. It's by Emmy Laybourne. This is like a post-apocalyptic book about 14 kids that are trapped inside a superstore, and that just sounds cool, and I like the cover to it. I think it's really cool. But a lot of people have really loved this, and the last book came out last month or this month. So I think it's the last book. I'm not sure. It was the third book, I assume. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. The next two were both trade-ins as well, and that is The Secret Hour by Scott Westerfeld, the first book in the Midnightish series. And then Blue Moon by Scott Westerfeld. I know this is the third book, not the second book, but I thought it was there, and the second book wasn't, so I can just buy the second book in these mass market paperback editions. So yeah, I like these covers actually. I like the cover of Blue Moon better than I like the cover of The Secret Hour. I think I just like his eyes. They're really cool. But I don't really know what these are about, but I liked Scott Westerfeld's Ugly series, and I kind of really want to read more of him. But Afterworlds comes out soon, and I really love the premise of that, so I think I'll buy that when that comes out. But I also want to read these two. So yeah, and obviously the second book. I'm not going to read the first book and miss out the second book. Who does that? So yeah, these are. And this book is a review book, and that is I don't even think this can fit in. The Truth is a Cave in the Black Mountains by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Eddie Campbell. The only thing that annoys me about this book is that it doesn't fit on my shelf. It sticks out if I put it like that. And if I put it like that, it won't fit. So it annoys me. But the artwork in this book, it's done in kind of a like a comic book style. But like it's like that, like there are little bubbles and stuff. But I really loved the artwork and that it's all in colour. I love it when they're all in colour. And this would be a bit expensive if you bought it. It's $12.99 it says on the back, but I got it for review from. So the next book is another review book from the Book Brigid website, and that is The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is a horror book, and I don't really read a lot of horror, but I do have another horror book in this haul. So this is a horror book, and I don't really read a lot of horror, but I do have another horror book in this haul. But I'm excited because on the bottom it's got a blurb by Stephen King. Stephen King is like the king of horror. Stephen King, the king of horror. He wrote like Carrie and stuff, and he said it scared the hell out of me. I couldn't put it down. Not for the faint-hearted, and I'm faint-hearted, so I'm kind of worried. I'm getting like a zombie vibe, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that either. But it looks really scary, so yeah. The next book I got I didn't pay for either, and that was 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I didn't pay for it because I am a sucker for complaining when I get books that are not to my liking, and this said it was in very good condition, and the cover is ripped. And it's just in really bad condition. It has water damage all over it, but it's readable. Like all the words are fine. But like I wouldn't mind if they'd said it was in poor condition, but it wasn't, and it was like a decent price. I think it cost me like £5. Obviously, it's free now. Yeah, this is about a girl who commits suicide, and she leaves like like cassette tapes for all the people that had some part in her death. And I just think it sounds so cool. And somebody in Waterstones the other day came up to me and was like, can I recommend you 13 Reasons Why? It's very like Fault in Our Stars. That's because like all the people in Waterstones know who I am and know what type of books I buy. And I bought my signed copy of The Fault in Our Stars in there. So yeah, I'm excited. The next books I got were review books, and that is The Testing. You may have seen this in my June TBR. It's by Joelle Charbonneau. I don't know how to pronounce that if I pronounced it wrong. I'm excited. It's a dystopian, get kind of a legend vibe off it, I think. It's about how the smartest kids in the world go to the testing, and it's not optional. I like how they've put on the back, they've put a disclaimer. The United Commonwealth is not responsible for any candidate's psychological or physical health during the testing, and the process is not optional. I think that's really cool that they've done that. Like, it's an actual like poster for the testing. I like that. I heard mixed things about the series, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. So yeah. The next book is my horror review book, and that is Say Her Name by James Dawson. Again, you might have seen this in my TBR. This is an e-proof copy. If I can, I'll put the cover of Say Her Name on top. But yeah, this is from Hotkey Books. It's a horror book about Bloody Mary, and that is something that as a kid I was firstly terrified of, but also reckless enough to still do it even though I was terrified of it. So like, while it didn't work, I spent like weeks after I'd done it scaring myself about it, thinking, oh no, she's gonna kill me, I'm gonna die. And me and my friends were just like that. I would completely, they would all be like, oh, it's not real, and then I'd be the one going, oh, it's not real, but then going home and like crying because I thought it was. So yeah, that's Say Her Name by James Dawson. I'm a bit scared for that book, actually. I'm kind of putting it off. So the next book I got is The Savages by Matt Wynnum. This is about a family of cannibals, and it sounds hilarious. I really want to read this. It just sounds so funny, and the cover, I love the cover because it really makes them seem like a normal family. Like, you wouldn't expect this to be a book about cannibals, but then like his face is really scary. He looks creepy. I don't like him. The next book is The Sky is Everywhere by Andy? My hand was covering the J. The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. This is kind of like Love Letters to the Dead. The main character's sister died and was like more fiery, more like outgoing than she was. And so she tries to be more like her, I think. The next book is the one I'm currently reading, and that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I went out of my way to get these covers because I loved them, and this one is like a library discarded one. But I don't mind stuff like that. I just wanted this cover because I really like it. So yeah, I'm currently reading this, and I'm about 100 pages from finishing. And I really, really love it. So yeah, I love this book. So yeah, that was my June book haul, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.